Hey everybody, this is Pop's Reviews, and I have a special unboxing here. It looks like Christmas came a little early for me. I got a box today in the mail, living in Canada, and I ordered the Conan the Conqueror Kickstarter, and my box came in today. So let's get into it. As you see, I haven't opened it yet, so I was waiting to do this on camera. So everything that I open will be new to me. So let's get into it and let's see what's in the box. Okay, so I've cut open the tape and let's see what's in this here. All right, I'm so excited. Before I get into all this, I just want to tell a quick story that I backed Conan. Not actually the original Kickstarter, but I actually had backed. Um, I did an auction, the Jack Vassal Memorial Auction, and had gotten the full Kickstarter through the auction. So, and I'd always liked Conan, but I haven't really got into it. So even though I got all this new fancy stuff, I haven't even played with a lot of the old stuff even. But still excited because there was a lot of exciting new content in this, and I was always a big fan of Conan, so I can't wait to see all the new things in this and maybe start to get to it. I also like to have my games painted, so that's another thing I want to do before I also play a lot of Conan. So anyways, this is what came in my set here. So these are the boxes here. So let's start off with the small one here. We have the Dashboard Deluxe. This is what it looks like. So pretty cool. That holds the cards and the gems to play the game. So that's pretty cool. Everything is kept nice and neat. We'll get into that. I also got the Shadow Kingdom box. So you see the write-up, 13 miniatures, 2 hero sheets, a scenario booklet. So we'll see what's in that. And I also got, what is this here? The Hidden Chambers, a 2-sided double mini map board, 8 trapdoor tokens. So I'll open that in a sec. And I also got the Tomb of Skelos. This was kickstarted before, but I had never got it, and this has a bunch of the campaign or missions that you're able to do. So I look forward to getting into that. Another thing about this game too was you used to have to play at least 2 or more people, but now they have rules where you can play solo. So I also look forward to doing that as well. Then we have a lot of brown. We have a couple brown generic boxes here. So this just says Conan the Conqueror, has this funky image on here. Let's see on the side here what this is. This Monolith Board Games. So not really saying what's in here. We'll find out in a sec. It's too bad though because these are brown and they don't really match the box art of the bigger box. This one here. Oh, this is the Tales of the Red Brotherhood. So this might be that. This is the 2 double-sided map board and the scenario booklet in this. And then we have the bigger game box here. I turn it around, so this has 55 miniatures, 19 life point markers, 43 Overlord activation tiles, 10 hero sheets, 21 equipment and spell cards, 43 various tokens, 1 double-sided game board, and 1 double-sided mini-map tile. So these are probably the characters that are in here. So let's start to open up these packages here. Okay, so I just undid a lot of the cellophane wrapper to make it a lot easier to get into. So first thing I'm going to start off with is the Tomb of Skelos. So this is a scenario booklet for Conan missions. So, and Conan is a game. It's a really nice, elegant game to play, but it's obviously very thematic and mature in its themes. So I'm just going to go through this quickly because this is an older book that people should have, but you could also get these games online as well, these scenarios. but at least it's nicely done in a nice booklet, hardcover. So you get the gist. I don't want to ruin anything, but that's the Tomb of Skelos pretty much. So there's that. Okay, now we're going to get into the dashboards. So let me open this up here. Okay, so this is nice. So these here make playing Conan a little neater to keep the dashboards in nice. So let me look at the back here. Yeah, so I guess you'd have to take out the parts here, and then I guess you slip the dashboard in. Yeah, it goes. I guess it goes in here nicely into this area, and then you'd put it over the top, punch this out, and then all your gems would sit nicely in the grooves of the dashboard. So that's pretty cool. So you get 5 of these. So how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5. So that's good. So that's the dashboards. The other side. Next thing we're going to open here is the 2 double-sided mini-map boards, 8 trapdoor tokens. So let's see what's in here. So open it up. So I've got a little package here. Open this up. Well, pretty cool. Okay, so you have these little mini maps here. Anything else in here? No. Okay, so you get these little dashes here. Let me open this up quickly. My Hulk strength here. Okay, so as you can see, nice art. Double-sided. Pretty cool. Got one specially numbered for, I guess, the certain scenarios, the doors, the trap doors, and the same trap doors. So you get 4 tiles in this. They're punchable. You want to punch them out. So yeah, you get 4 tiles in this box here. So that's that. 2 double-sided mini-map boards and 8 trapdoor tokens. So that's what you get in this box here. So put that aside for now. Go to the next thing. So this here is the Shadow Kingdom. So you get 13 miniatures, 2 hero sheets, 1 scenario booklet. Open this up. All right. Against the miniatures here, as you can see, we have King Cole and his activation board and Brule. So they come as part of the set. Then you have a Shadow Kingdom scenario booklet. So you see they have the Serpent's coils. There's a scenario in here. So you got some special scenarios for this, just using these characters. And I believe this is the French probably booklet for it. Yep. So that's good. You have the English and French that come with it. And then the miniatures. Here's a first look at some of the miniatures of the game. So just get this tape going off here. Okay, so now we have one of the, I believe, the Serpent Men. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these guys. And they're nicely detailed. Pretty cool. Angry looking guys. Alright, and then you also get, I believe this is Tulsa Doom. Pretty Pretty cool. Is like his robe is like kind of shredded, like almost. A lot of detail to it. So pretty cool. Menacing enemy. Then we have King Call. Hopefully the camera could focus on him. So pretty cool with his axe. Looks like he's a tough character. Looking to take down the bad guys. And last but not least in this set, Brûlé. So again, a lot of these guys nicely detailed. Lots for the painters out there. I myself will be happy to paint these guys when I get the chance. So that was the Shadow Kingdom mini set. Okay, next we have this other box here. I'm not quite sure what's in it. Not really anything other than the art that's on the top here. Slight disappointment though that I guess they had for expenses, they had to go with just a generic round box as opposed to the nice art of the regular Conan boxes. But it is what it is. Alright, so here we're getting some of the creatures that you'll be fighting. So this here, the winged ape. I believe this guy came with the Mythic Battles, but if you weren't a part of Mythic Battles, then I guess you were able to get him here. This is one of the Conan enemies here. It's a pretty menacing dude. So we have a big coil snake. So again, all these guys are pretty chunky miniatures. Nice, lots of detail. Different to the original snake you get in the core box. Alright, we have next this nice big guy here. I forget some of these guys' names, but obviously probably are pretty tough, big, a lot of life points to take down, lots of detail. So yeah, this is very, very good. And here we have the, I guess this is like the Hydra. So again, I think this was another character from the Mythic Battles set that they crossed over to here to use. I didn't back Mythic Battles, so this is all new miniatures for myself. So pretty big miniature. Last but not least, we have this big guy. He doesn't want to come out of the box here. Oh. Use a scissor, just pause it. Okay, and the last figure in this is, I think this is the Nameless, I think this was called. I think he was another creature from Mythic Battles. He's obviously the biggest one in the set. And you can tell he's a good size compared to my hand in the background. So definitely a tough villain for Conan to fight here. So, and as you can see, as I have them all down, you can see the size, the relative size of each one to each other. Yet even probably one of the miniatures like Brûlé or Cull would be like way smaller than these guys here. So pretty cool. Nice epic battles. Yeah, so those are the creatures that you get to fight here. We have a 2 double-sided map board and a scenario booklet. So this is the Tales of the Red Brotherhood. So let's open it up here. This comes in an envelope. So at least they try to secure the packaging with a lot of this stuff here, which is nice. Okay, so we open this up. So again, you get 2 instruction booklets, one in French, one in English. So let's flip through the English one here. So here you have, you're gonna have missions fighting against some ships like in the original one, but it's a different map. So very cool. Lots of different scenarios here. That's that, and then you have the double-sided maps here. So here's one ship. It's pretty cool. Hopefully, this iteration of Conan, a lot of these were the circles represented line of sight to other areas. So hopefully, there's not too many like kind of blind spots like the other one. Okay, so here's the other side of the map. Double-sided. I believe they're almost they're probably the same. I think if let me just open this other one up. Oh no, oh, they're different ships. So pretty cool. And flip it to the other side. All right, so really nice art, very well done. A nice stick board. So that is the Tales of the Red Brotherhood. Okay, as I've been looking through the contents of this, I noticed that there's 2 gang planks in the scenario picture here for this scenario, and then if you look at the beginning of the book, they show that you're supposed to have ×3 gang planks, and apparently this box did not have the gang planks in it. This comes with the two maps. So I checked inside here, there was nothing inside the box, and I checked the envelopes now, there's nothing in here. Now, I mean, there are 3 boards, I guess maybe you could use, other pieces from previous Conan stuff to maybe get into it, to replicate the gangplanks, but they weren't present in my box here. So I just want to make note of that. Another thing I did notice too as well, I'm not sure, as you can see, like the Conan games, they usually have these lines to detect the zones and the line of sight with the circles and stuff. So if you look at the map here, this one, they only have 2 of those line of sights, and then some of the zones are marked off here. So I'm not sure if that was done right or not. Like, they're very faint, some of the zones. So you really have to pay attention to this one. And actually with this other board as well, see, this one is done, but again, some of the lines you just have to pay attention. They're kind of faintish to know which zones are which. So, and then the other side of this board, as you can see, the zones aren't even really marked off, or there's not even any line of sight dots to show you which area you could fire in. So this is kind of weird that there's nothing really representative on this side. So something to be made note of. I'm not too sure if that was if this is how it's supposed to be, or if this was something that just passed by their production and they didn't notice it. So just be aware of that when you receive your game boards, I guess, for this certain scenario. If I look through the booklet quickly here, let me just take a look to see. Here's like the board with not really any zones, and they have all kinds of stuff happening on it. So obviously it's supposed to be a playable ship, but I'm not too sure how these zones work on this one here. So maybe it's in the instructions, maybe I have to go through it, but it's not visibly seen really on this one. Okay, so last but not least, we have the actual main game box here, looks like. So I showed you the back here. So you have 55 miniatures, 19 life points. I said all this before earlier. So this is what you're getting essentially. So let's open it up, take a look. At least this box is matching all the rest of the Conan boxes too, so that's nice. Well, as you can see, you get player dashboard. So Conan the Conqueror, Conan the Pirate. I'll just open up quickly here so you can see the rest of the characters. Okay, so you have Conan the Pirate. This is okay. So English and French. So I'll turn it around. So you have Conan the Conqueror. You have Octavia. You have Bal Bator, who looks like he went through a cosmetic change. He has hair in this one. And obviously, again, they're both double-sided, but one is English, one is French, but both the same art, same skills. Here's one for the winged one when you're ready to play him as a character. There's that big looking horror monster, the Nameless Horror. And you have in Yaga. You have Exaltodian, if I'm saying his name right, forgive me. Not familiar with some of these characters. Or that character in particular. And you have Gorm. So I hope with this Conan you're able to plug and play a lot of the characters. I know previously the characters, you couldn't really do that in the previous game. So hopefully, I know they have, there's a thing on, I guess, maybe Board Game Geek or their site where you could kind of plug and play the characters now. But hopefully it's a little more obvious in this one. And you have Conan the Pirate. So those are the dashboards you get with this. You have the equipment cards. I'm not going to go through all these. You could go through that on your own, but you have the equipment cards here. You have the plastic rings to go on your characters. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big ones and 5 small ones. All right. Set that there. Okay, then you have your punch boards. So you have the characters for the Overlord to play. You have other, maybe these are the planks here, I'm not too sure. Okay, this is all the Overlord. I'll turn them right side up so I guess for the camera better. So this is for the Overlord, all the different characters. You can also play the heroes as well. The Overlord can control the heroes, so I'm sure there are probably scenarios for that. Alright, and then you have a double-sided game board, I believe, here. Alright. Well, nice and big, nice and thick, nice good quality. So they are really nice, as you can see. I flip it over. So pretty cool. See, this one's a little better with the outlines of the zones, so that's a little nicer. I'm not sure what happened with the ship there. All right, so that is the boards and the card stock of the game. Now we'll get to the minis. Just give me one sec. Okay, so here we have the miniatures that come in here. So a whole lot of these little guys here. I have 10 of these guys. So that's him. We have 10 of those. And you have these archers. You have 10 of those. all look to be good. Then you have these kind of priest shaman characters. There's 10 of those. Alright, then you have your heroes on the bottom here. This guy looks nice and detailed. I think this is Grom. This double mace. Pretty fierce. And you have the Strangler. I believe this is Baal Pator. So you got a remake of him. Pretty cool. And we have the star of the show. There's Conan. And if the camera could focus in on him. Hopefully it focuses a little better. But I mean, all these guys are in great detail. When you get yours, they're all fantastic detail. So hopefully, yeah, you can see that a little better there. So that's Conan the Conqueror. We have Conan the Pirate. So he's coming out pretty good. I believe these guys look a lot more detailed than the original original Conan that had come out, but the original Conan too, I mean, the detail is pretty good on that. But I think the color just makes these guys pop a little more with their detail. Another shaman kind of character. Yep, so these are all nice for the painters who love to paint. Plenty of detail on these characters. They look nice. Alright. The guy whose name I couldn't pronounce. Okay, so that was the first set on the top. We got another set on the bottom here. So first we have these ballista characters. You got 5 of these guys. Pretty cool. We got 5 of those. And we have these 8 characters. You get 5 of these guys. And obviously he's a bigger character. Okay, next we have this merman kind of character here. You get 5 of these characters. You can see all the detail on his tail, his fin. Very nice. And you have a giant spider. And pretty cool. And you have this ugly looking thing here. I'm not even sure what this is. Some larvae looking type of monster. Alright, and last but not least in this, you get this tall looking character. I think his name is Mitra, I believe, but again, I'd have to look up some of these character names again. Alright, so that is it. That is all that I got for my Conan. Like I said, I had backed the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund, so I had got all the other previous expansions through that, and I was impressed back then with all that I had got from that, and they have redone for this a lot of the old stuff. So if you didn't get a chance to back the original Conan, you were able to get it through this campaign. And overall, I would say I'm very impressed with everything that I've got. A lot of things here. Um, I mean, the Conan expansions, there's just endless amounts of expansion for this game to play with and to have all kinds of Conan adventures. And like again, the system is very well done. It used to be, you know, a one versus many overlord versus, you know, the heroes type game. But now I believe you could play a lot of the scenarios solo. So I do look forward to playing some solo games because sometimes it's hard to get a group of people to play some Conan. So I do look forward to that, and I do look forward to painting all these wonderful miniatures. There's all kinds of characters in here. That big nameless horror, oh my goodness, that's going to be a crazy miniature to paint when I get to that. Probably one of my bigger miniatures that I've ever painted when I get to that. So a lot of different characters, a lot of different play will be going on with this, and yeah, I'm excited to get to it. So thanks again for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave any comments, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks for supporting the channel and watching all the other videos I have, and hopefully I will be making another video soon, and we'll see you in the next video. So take care. God bless.